Hey, what's up guys? It's me, Colleen, and welcome to the Oracle card reading for Friday, November 1st. Now, it's actually October 31st right now while I'm filming. I always do my videos the night before I release them so that you can have a fresh new video in the morning, and hopefully it can inspire you for your day ahead. So that's also why the pumpkins are still here, and you might see them again in a few more videos just for the simple fact that I really love pumpkins and I have a lot of them here as well. So also today is the first day of Mercury retrograde, so I'm going to be reading into that a little bit as well and see if there's any specific messages that come up for us that we need to pay extra special attention to during this time period. I know today was a little chaotic. I noticed it on the roads. There was a lot of chaos. And I don't know if it's because people were just like super excited to go home and take their kids out trick-or-treating, or, you know, to have all the little trick-or-treaters come to their house. I don't know what was going on, but it was like the apocalypse was happening out there and it was just not normal. So between Halloween and Mercury retrograde, it was just like, I don't know, there was just so much craziness. So if you have like a funny story about today, I'd love to hear it. Just put your comments in the description area, comment section below. You know, maybe we can have a good laugh over it, because that's what it's really all about, is like all these ridiculous things that happen. They're just, it's funny at the end of the day. Like, yeah, they really can like piss you off at the time, but then when you look at them and it's like, really? Like, that's what happened here? I don't know, it's crazy. I just need to turn the light down a little here because it's like burning my retina. So, okay. All right, so enough of that. I'm gonna start by just shuffling my deck of cards here. And I'm just gonna ask, what do we need to know? What messages do you have for us, Spirit, while we navigate through this crazy time? Oh, okay, two popped out there. I think I'll go with those, but I feel like I should just shuffle for another second here and see if anything else wants to come out. I try not to overthink this process. I just sort of let it happen. Okay, well, I'll put those two aside because two more came out. So I don't want to make it too convoluted here with messages. So I'll take out the first two that came up first. So the first one that came up is, it's okay, it happens. I feel like this card is very fitting for the energy of today. So the it's okay it happens card is pointing towards like any feelings of guilt or shame that we might have. So if we're behaving in a certain way, or we might have a reaction in a certain way towards somebody, and then we feel bad afterwards, you know, that's our, you know, human part of us saying like, oh yeah, you know what, like maybe that was uncalled for. I could have handled that situation in a better way. So instead of beating yourself up over what may have happened or what you may have said or didn't say, or, you know, whatever's bothering you, just take the lesson. Like, as long as you've learned the lesson. So if you're standing there saying to yourself like, yeah, you know what, like I overreacted, or I didn't have to react that way, or say those things or whatever, that's you learning the lesson. So make sure you take that with you and apply it going forward. Okay, so don't beat yourself up over it. Take the lesson and move on. And you know, this card talks about a couple different things, but I think that's the main message here to take away tonight. It also talks a little bit about feeling sad. And you know, sometimes our reactions to things are like based on something completely different that's going on in our lives, and then this particular thing like happened to trigger you. So you might be feeling sad about something else or angry, and then you took it out on this other person. And as you know, a friend of mine says, it's never really about the cupcakes, is it? You know, it's a long story. I'll tell it to you another time about the cupcakes. But basically, what that means is, you know, somebody's getting mad over this one thing when it's actually, there's really something else behind it that they're upset about. And maybe you're in the wrong place in the wrong time and you're feeling the wrath over it. So it's just, you know, it's an affirmation card to sort of, or an indicator to sort of just step back and reevaluate things. Like what, you know, and ask yourself, okay, you know what, like what's really going on here with me right now? Like, why am I reacting this way? So do a little bit of self-reflection, and it could, you know, go a long way for you in that sense. Okay, so the next card is Take Action. Now, I kind of feel like these are tying in with what I already talked about taking the lesson with you and applying it. So I think that would be taking action. And even, you know, if you feel like it's appropriate, like going as far as just, you know, extending an olive branch to somebody and maybe apologizing or just trying to work things out. I think that could go a long way. So it's actually doing something about it in a healthy way. You know, it's probably best to, like, if you're in like a heated moment, just to like let things calm down, and then, you know, just ask for guidance or whatever if you're not sure how to approach the situation. But it's all about being the bigger person, I feel like is the message that's coming through here for me to share. Okay, so I'm gonna just take a peek at these other two cards. Oh my god, like I can't make this stuff up. Put it in the rear view mirror. This is the card that came up next. So it really is tying into the okay, it happens card. It's okay, it happens card. So it's all about just like letting it go and moving on. You know, saying you're sorry or apologizing, or like just, you know, don't beat yourself up. Just take the lesson that you learned and move on. Okay? I know I keep repeating, don't beat yourself up over it, but that's the thing that's like really, you know, standing out in my mind here to tell you. Okay. And another thing that this says is practice forgiveness of yourself and others, okay? And that can go a really long way when you put things in the rearview mirror, meaning, you know, it's time to stop focusing on it so much. And sometimes holding on does more damage than letting go. Okay, so just remember that if you're feeling a little unwilling to move on, but yeah, just think about it. Think about it. Another card that came up is emotional addictions. Okay, so this is just, it's so crazy how these cards like work, because they all are tying into each other like so perfectly here with the message. So the emotional addictions card actually talks about, you know, patterns that we have in our emotions and dealing with other people. Okay, and maybe even like reactions to people or situations that we find ourselves in. So, you know, an emotional addiction could be, you know, picking a fight all the time with somebody. I know I've been guilty of doing that in the past. And, you know, when you're going through a healing process, like you really start to pick these things out that you're doing, and you really start to notice them a little bit more. So if you're not there yet, just know that you will be there eventually. But it's all about cultivating awareness to your behaviors and your actions. And once you can do that, then you can take the steps to change your reactions, change your behaviors, and even change your thoughts. Because a lot of the emotional addictions we have, they're based on like the thoughts that we have towards a person or a situation. So, you know, if your habit is to like think bad about somebody doing a particular thing to you right off the bat, instead of maybe having a little bit of understanding towards them and maybe think like, okay, well, what's that person going through right now? You know, so it's always stepping back and just not making it so much about yourself, and when you have like a little bit of consideration towards and empathy towards what other people might be going through as well, it sort of helps you with that "is it true" question, right? Like, okay, I'm thinking this bad thing about whoever or whatever that's making me feel this way. Okay, well, it's time to challenge that thought. Is it actually true? Are these thoughts I'm having, are they true? And, you know, chances are, like, they're not really gonna be true. If you can't stare at a situation and ask it that question, is it true? And actually say yes, then it means it's not true. You can't say, I guess so, or maybe, because if you're saying I guess so or maybe, then that's up for debate, right? So it's all about just like kind of training yourself to sort of put your ego over to the side and just to really ask these questions, these real questions, and you know, just be honest with yourself, right? Like, nobody's watching you while you're doing this. It's all about, you know, you and your reactions and, you know, your healing journey. Okay, so I know we're carrying on here a little bit, but I'll just read the last card here really quick underneath. And this card is create what feels good. So I feel like in all of this is just telling you, like, make good of a situation. Focus more on like what feels good and what raises your vibration. And I talked a lot about raising your vibration in yesterday's video, but you know, it's always a recurring thing. Like, we're always being called to like raise our vibration. And you know, it's just really important that we focus on doing things that we like and things that make us feel good, and creating what feels good. And now I'm not talking about going and doing a painting per se. Yes, this is a card to do with creativity. But in this case, like, what I'm picking up on is just to, you know, focus on what you like, and whatever it is that you're creating, like situations or relationships, or energy, just make sure that it's good. Like, put your focus towards on the good in things. All right, well, I'm gonna leave it at that for you right now. There's a lot to think about here, but they do all tie in. It's just like, it always blows my mind, and everybody that I read for too, like, their minds are always blown when they get their cards, because it's like they're always right. It's crazy. So anyway, if you want to book your own personal oracle card reading with me, Colleen, or if you'd be interested also in exploring some personal coaching, some personal life coaching as well, if you're interested to find out your life purpose, or even if you're at the point where you know you want to make some changes in your life, you know you need to start doing some different positive things and that sort of stuff, but you're just not sure like what to do or how to get there, I can help you to figure all that out, because I've been through it myself. So if you're interested in booking any of that stuff, or even if you want to purchase a set of my oracle cards here, I'm going to leave the link to my website in the description below. So definitely just check it out, and you know, I look forward to hearing from you soon. Well, I want to thank you so much for watching today, and if you have any comments, please leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe and check me out on Instagram. Okay, I'm done. I'm signing off now. Have a really great Friday, you guys. Take care.